hails from Belarus. This time we have a band called Grimentity, and they're playing, indeed, deathgrind. But what a weird title, DSM-5, the new chapter. This title, if it's supposed to tell me something, it's not really doing the job. I mean, sometimes you just see an album title and you go, this is gonna be like Under a Funeral Moon. Like, yeah, it's all captivating and all that stuff. But what the hell is this name supposed to be? It's supposed to like convince me to buy this, color me interested and all that stuff. Well, luckily here at Rauta headquarters, I'm not too picky. That is, I don't really care about the name of the cover if the music is good. And is this very good? That's the question you want to know. Now, I would say somewhere in between. This one has a list of tracks here with some credits for doing the songs right there. And yes, indeed, this is somewhat solid, but not exactly super good deathgrind. Maybe more on the death metal side. There are definitely parts which kind of guide you away purely known as something that's known as death metal. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't find the right words. I'm saying this is basically death metal with grind seasoning rather than purely deathgrind. But of course, this is up for debate and all. Like, sometimes people define bands and their genres a little bit different. This is just my opinion. Does it sound heavy? Does it sound fierce? Does it sound aggressive? The answer to all those questions is definitely yes. So let's take a look at this band Metal Archive site while I got you a little bit through. So this band has been out here for a few years, starting like all the bands should with some demos, and then only after those a few releases going for the first full album, which, like I said, is having a kind of a poor, boring title. But that doesn't really ruin the thing here, because throughout this 25 minutes, mind you, it's quite short, you have 11 tracks and short and sweet music. I mean, all the tracks are, I guess, less than 3 minutes. That is enough to make impact, but without getting the boring side out of it. That is, when you kind of do the kind-tastic thing, you're not supposed to do 8-7 minute tracks. Like, okay, we're just gonna keep repeating these boring tracks or riffs for eternity and all that stuff. You wanna get right to the point. Like, okay, this is how it's done. This is fierce. This is aggressive, short and sweet, heavy, brutal. You have it. And when I was listening to this album for 2 times, I was like, okay, there must be a band that comes to my mind when I'm really thinking about it, because, you know, it's not like the kind of grind or deathgrind is the most innovative genre in the world, but it's more like there are always bands that come to your mind. And I don't know if this is so much true, because it's obviously just my opinion, my personal association and all that stuff, but I am thinking Aborted. Not just as good as yet. But if you're a Aborted fan, I think you will find this band interesting, or at least this particular release, because the thing here is they're kind of a blending together the same kind of thing. Obviously, Grimentity doesn't have the budget and doesn't have as such the production that is would be so heavy or super produced as Aborted, but the ideas are roughly the same. I mean, the songwriting is very, very much nodding towards death metal, but you have those grindy, screamy parts which are definitely supporting this kind of stuff, you know, to do their job. And the job here is sound violent, sound heavy, sound brutal, and stop before it gets boring. Like I said, those songs are quite short and sweet, and it really, really supports the thing here. Now, if there's a downside, and there always are, I mean, except for the perfect albums, which are rare and few, I would say the songs are not that memorable. One could say they're not exactly that catchy. Now, are Aborted songs that catchy? Maybe not, but they have the super great production and brutality that a lot of bands are probably envious of. I'm saying some bands get away from it because all the other puzzle pieces are perfect. So if the songwriting isn't perfect, it doesn't matter when you have a super good drummer, super production, growly vocals done super good and all that stuff. And super is the word that Grimentity doesn't really have. Don't get me wrong, this is a very listenable and to some degree enjoyable once again, because this is indeed what deathgrind is all about. It's not creating those most memorable songs. It's not about being super catchy and all. It's more like, for example, Rauta sound from Finland. You have the grind elements, but you have a little bit death metal in the mix, and that's how you roll. Short, sweet, brutal, heavy. And that's what this band is all about. And given that this is the first album, who knows how much they will evolve, how much better they will be, in the years to come. I'm already pretty convinced, but like I said, I am not praising this like it's 8 out of 10, it's 9 out of 10. No, this is more like 7 out of 10. So pretty good, but not there yet. So with these words, I would say if you're in the genre known as death grind or death metal with a grind, then this is definitely right up your alley. But those who don't care about the style, well, this is not going to change your mind, I think. But it is what it is, and you can check the music from the links provided in the description box, and of course you can always comment or question all that stuff in the comment box below, and remember to like the video if you liked it. Thank you, and bye-bye.